Hey everyone, welcome back to Tune In English. I'm Adam, and I'm really happy you're spending a few minutes of your day with us.
Hi, everyone. I'm Anna. Whether you're listening on your way to work, relaxing at home, or maybe even cooking dinner right now, we're so glad you're here.
Yes, and today we're diving into something super useful, something you are using all the time in English, maybe without even realizing it.
That's right. Today's topic is how to use the present continuous in English. And don't worry, we're going to keep it simple, practical, and very real.
Because here at Tune In English, we focus on English you can actually use in conversations, not just grammar rules in a textbook, but English that's alive.
Exactly. So, Adam, let me start with a very simple question. What are you doing right now?
Right now, I'm talking to you. I'm recording this podcast, and I'm trying to explain present continuous clearly.
You are, and I'm listening to you, smiling, and thinking about what to say next.
And everyone listening, they're listening to us. Maybe they're walking, maybe they're driving, maybe they're sitting on a couch.
And all of those sentences are using the present continuous.
Exactly. So let's say it clearly. We use present continuous to talk about actions happening now, at this moment, in progress.
Not yesterday, not tomorrow, not last week, right now.
So if I say, I am studying, what does that mean?
It means you're studying at this moment. The action is happening now. It hasn't finished.
Good. What about she is working?
That means she's working right now. Maybe she's typing on her computer. Maybe she's in a meeting. The action is in progress.
And they are playing.
They're playing now. Maybe they're playing football. Maybe they're playing a video game. The key idea is that it's happening.
I like that word, happening. That's the feeling of present continuous. The action is moving, it's alive.
Yes. Don't focus too much on the long name, present continuous. Focus on the feeling. If you can see it happening now, you probably need this tense.
So let's make it even clearer. Present continuous talks about three main things: actions happening now, temporary situations, and planned future arrangements.
We'll explore all three today, but first, let's talk about structure, because if you don't know how to build it, you can't use it confidently.
Right. So here's the formula. Very simple. Subject plus am, is, or are, plus verb with ing.
3 parts, always 3 parts.
First, the subject, who is doing the action. Second, am, is, or are, that's the helping verb. Third, the main verb with ing.
Let's break that down slowly. If I say, I am reading,
Subject, I, helping verb, am, main verb with ing, reading.
good. You are listening.
You are listening.
She is studying.
She is studying.
So if someone says, I reading, is that correct?
No, that's missing the helping verb. You must say, I am reading.
The helping verb is not optional. It carries the tense.
Exactly. Without am, is, or are, the sentence is broken.
Let's give more examples. We are learning English.
They are watching a movie.
He is cooking dinner.
Now let's notice something interesting. The verb changes a little when we add ing.
Yes, for most verbs, we just add ing. Work becomes working. Play becomes playing. Read becomes reading.
But sometimes we make small spelling changes. For example, run becomes running. We double the N.
Good point. And make becomes making. We drop the E and add ing.
Don't worry too much about the spelling rules right now. The most important thing is understanding the structure and the feeling.
Yes, structure first, perfection later.
Let's practice together. Repeat after us. I am learning.
We are improving.
She is listening.
Say it slowly. Feel the rhythm. I am learning. We are improving. She is listening.
When you practice like this, the structure becomes natural. It starts to feel automatic.
And that's our goal. We don't want you to think for 5 minutes before you speak. We want you to feel confident in real conversations.
Exactly. So now that we understand the structure, let's move to the first big use, actions happening right now.
This is the most common use. If something is happening at this exact moment, we use present continuous.
For example, I'm drinking coffee.
That means the coffee is in your hand right now. You're sipping it as you speak.
She's talking on the phone.
The conversation is happening now.
They're studying for their exam.
The books are open. The action is in progress.
Sometimes we add time expressions to make it clearer,
Like right now
or at the moment.
or currently.
So you can say, I'm working right now.
She's studying at the moment.
They're currently living in London.
Those words help, but they're not always necessary. Sometimes the context is enough.
Let's make this interactive. Look around you. What is happening right now?
Are people talking? Is your phone buzzing? Are you sitting or standing?
Maybe you're listening to this podcast and walking through your neighborhood.
Then you can say, I'm walking and listening to Tune in English.
See, that's real English. That's practical.
So here's the simple rule. If it's happening now, use present continuous.
Clear, direct, useful.
But Adam, I have a question.
Okay, I'm ready.
Is present continuous only for actions happening at this exact second?
Ooh, interesting. So there's more.
Yes, we also use present continuous for temporary situations.
Temporary, that's an important word. A temporary situation is something that is true now, but not forever.
For example, I'm living in Melbourne this year.
That means you live in Melbourne now, but maybe next year you'll move.
Exactly. It's not permanent. It's just for now.
Another example, she's working at a cafe this month.
Maybe she's a student. Maybe it's a short contract. It's temporary.
So let's compare two sentences. I live in Melbourne.
That sounds permanent. That's your long-term home.
Now, I'm living in Melbourne.
That sounds temporary. Maybe you're there for a project or for study.
So present simple often sounds permanent.
And present continuous often sounds temporary.
Here's another example. I work at a bank.
That sounds like your regular job.
But if you say, I'm working at a bank, it can mean just for now. Maybe you're planning to change jobs.
So remember this phrase, right now or around now.
I like that. Around now. Because sometimes it's not this exact second, but it's this period of your life.
Exactly. Temporary situations are part of that.
And that's why present continuous is so powerful. It doesn't just describe this second, it describes life in motion.
Beautifully said.
Thank you. I'm practicing my dramatic speaking skills.
And you're doing a great job.
I'm improving every day.
See? Present continuous again.
Always practicing what we teach. So let's review quickly. Present continuous, subject plus am, is, or are, plus verb with ing.
We use it for actions happening now.
We use it for temporary situations.
And we're about to explore something even more interesting, using it for the future.
Yes, because English loves surprises.
And we're going to explain that clearly in just a moment.
So yes, present continuous can also talk about the future.
Which sounds strange at first, right? Because it's called present continuous.
Exactly, but English doesn't always follow logic in the names. What matters is how we use it.
So when do we use present continuous for the future?
When the future plan is arranged, decided, confirmed.
Arranged is the key word.
Yes, if it's on your calendar, if you've already made the decision, present continuous works perfectly.
For example, I'm meeting my friend tomorrow.
That means you already texted your friend, you agreed on a time, maybe 6 p.m. at a cafe.
It's not just an idea, it's a real plan.
Exactly. Another example, we're traveling next week.
That sounds like the tickets are booked, the hotel is reserved, the plan is real.
Hopefully the suitcase is ready.
Or at least half ready.
Here's another one. She's starting a new job on Monday.
That means the job is confirmed. She signed the contract, it's official.
So what's the difference between this and something like I will travel someday?
I will travel someday is just a general future idea. It's not arranged.
But I'm traveling to Japan next month means the flight is booked.
The plan is clear.
So here's the simple rule. If the future action is planned and arranged, you can use present continuous.
Let's give more examples. I'm studying tonight.
That means you already decided. Maybe you even prepared your books.
We're having dinner with my parents this weekend.
That sounds scheduled. Maybe your parents are already cooking.
Or maybe you're cooking.
That's dangerous. I'm not a great cook.
You're learning.
I'm improving slowly.
Present continuous again.
See how natural it becomes?
That's what we want for you too. Natural usage, not forced.
Now let's move on to negatives, because in real conversations, we don't only say what we're doing.
Sometimes we say what we're not doing.
Exactly. So how do we make present continuous negative?
Very simple. Subject plus am, is, or are plus not plus verb-ing.
That's it. Just add not after the helping verb.
For example, I'm not working today.
Maybe it's your day off.
Or maybe you're sick.
I isn't coming to the party.
That means she's not coming. The plan changed, or maybe she was never coming.
They aren't studying right now.
Maybe they should be studying, but they're watching TV instead,
Or listening to us.
which is a good choice.
So let's look at contractions, because in spoken English, we use them all the time.
Yes, instead of is not, we usually say isn't.
Instead of are not, we say aren't.
I am not usually becomes I'm not.
So you'll hear, I'm not working. She isn't listening. They aren't playing.
And that's completely natural in everyday conversation.
Let's practice quickly. I'll say a positive sentence, you make it negative.
Okay, let's do it.
She is studying.
She isn't studying.
Good. They are watching TV.
They aren't watching TV.
I am sleeping.
I hope not. I'm not sleeping.
Perfect.
Now let's move to questions because conversations are about asking and answering.
Yes, grammar becomes useful when you start asking real questions.
So, how do we form questions in present continuous?
We flip the helping verb. Am, is, are plus subject plus verb-ing.
So instead of you are studying, we say, are you studying?
Exactly. The helping verb goes to the front.
She is working becomes, is she working?
They are playing becomes, are they playing?
Very simple shift, but very important.
And what about short answers?
Also simple. Yes, I am. No, I'm not.
Yes, she is. No, she isn't.
Yes, they are. No, they aren't.
Notice we don't repeat the verb in short answers.
Right. We don't say, yes, I am studying, unless we want to emphasize.
Usually just, yes, I am.
Let's do a quick mini conversation.
Okay.
Are you listening to this podcast right now?
Yes, I am.
Are you driving?
No, I'm not.
Are you improving your English?
Yes, I am.
That's the energy we like.
Now there's one more important thing we need to talk about.
Ah, yes, the tricky verbs.
Some verbs usually do not appear in present continuous.
These are often called stative verbs, verbs about feelings, thoughts, or states.
For example, know.
We don't say, I am knowing the answer.
We say, I know the answer.
Another one, like.
Not, I am liking this song.
Just, I like this song.
Love, want, need, believe, understand. These usually stay in simple form.
So instead of I am understanding, say, I understand.
These verbs describe states, not actions in progress.
Exactly, they're not actions you can see happening.
Now, in informal English, sometimes people say things like, I'm loving it.
That's true. In advertising or casual speech, you might hear it.
But for now, as a learner, it's safer to use the simple form with those verbs.
Keep it simple. Clear is better than complicated.
Always.
So now we've covered structure, positive, negative, questions, present use, temporary situations, future arrangements, and special verbs.
That's a lot, but when you break it into small pieces, it's manageable.
And now it's time to practice in a real way.
Yes, we want you to use it, not just understand it.
So here's your challenge. Think about your life right now.
What are you doing at this moment?
Are you sitting? Are you walking? Are you drinking coffee?
Maybe you're working and listening at the same time.
Then you can say, I'm working and listening to Tune in English.
Or I'm cooking dinner and learning English.
Try making a longer sentence. Combine two actions.
For example, I'm sitting on my couch, listening to this podcast and practicing pronunciation.
That's powerful. That's real communication.
And remember, the more you use present continuous, the more natural it becomes.
Don't wait until you feel ready. You're learning by doing.
You're improving every time you practice.
And you're building confidence step by step.
So let's finish with a quick review.
Present continuous equals subject plus am, is, or are plus verb-ing.
We use it for actions happening now.
For temporary situations,
And for arranged future plans.
negatives add not.
Questions flip the helping verb.
And some verbs like know and like usually stay in simple form.
See? Clear, practical, usable.
English doesn't have to feel overwhelming.
It just needs to feel alive.
And right now, you're learning, you're growing, you're improving.
And we're so glad you're doing it with us.
Thanks for tuning in to Tune in English.
Keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep noticing what's happening around you.
Because English is everywhere and you're using it more than you think.
We'll see you in the next episode.
Until then, keep learning and have fun with your English.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.